In response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the virtual fitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, and physical fitness level are unknown, and it is entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in this class. Since it is preferable to consult your physician before beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members to consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document. If you experience any pain or difficulty during the exercises presented in this video, it is recommended that you stop and consult a healthcare provider. If CAF members sustain an injury during this video, please remember to fill out a CF98. G'day everyone, my name's Dave McCart here at CFP Halifax, and today's workout is an upper body strength circuit. Today you will need dumbbells. If you have dumbbells or a variety of dumbbells to change the weights for different exercises as needed, then that is a bonus, but I understand with the equipment limitations, if you only have the one weight of dumbbell, you'll still be able to participate in this workout, even if you only have one dumbbell, and we will go over the movement preparation and exercises one at a time so that you can have some time during this video to figure out how these movements are going to work best for you and how best to perform them in your space. You may choose to have an exercise mat as well, as we will be doing some floor works and sit-ups, but if your floor is comfortable enough for you to do sit-ups on, then you might not need an exercise mat. That's optional. Don't forget to bring your water, and if you want to play music, that's up to you. Put on your favorite playlist, and you can jam out while we work out together. Great, in this warm-up, we're going to do 5 moves, all to activate the shoulders and get yourself ready to go. So come on down to a plank position. You can go knees down or knees up, that's up to you, and we're looking at making this rounded back position, and then letting the chest fall. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as close as you can without letting your hips sag, still holding that plank. And come up and down for 10 reps. Feeling this through the chest as you push away. And tightening up your core when you come down. Push it out for a little extra long if you're not quite feeling it. But definitely feeling the abs are braced, the glutes are activated. And once you're done, then we can bring the knees right underneath the hips and arch the back and look for a little bit more rounding as you cow and arching as you cat. Some familiar spinal warm-ups. And just 10 reps of each at your own pace. It's not yoga, so don't worry about following your breathing. Just keep on moving, trying to increase the elasticity of those intervertebral joints. After 10 of those, we can start doing bird dog crunches. When we're working strength in the upper body, very important to make sure that our low back is prepared and that our abs are supportive. If you want to make this a little bit harder, you can add an extended arm and crunch knee to elbow. and switch sides. Trying not to rotate through the spine as we crunch and extend. You can always take it back to just the leg. Again, this is for your low back support. From here, curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back into a down dog shape. From here, step 1 foot forwards. You can drop the knee or straighten the leg. Rotate and reach up to the ceiling. Rotate back down. Step back into down dog and switch sides. So alternating 10 total reps. That's 5 on each side. Stepping along, making sure that you're extending your shoulders and pushing all the way back to let your head through. And stretching out the legs, as our legs will help with the accessory movements throughout our workout. And once you're done rotating 5 times on each side, we'll step back and just going all the way to the floor, making sure we get the full range of motion out of the shoulders as we rep out 10 push-ups. Again, option to go from the knees. This is still your warm-up, but if you're looking for more challenge, your variation is up to you. I hope you're having a great workout today. So hopefully you saw during the introduction, the movements that we have in our workout today are the bent over row, the hang clean, and the push press. Oop, that was push jerk, one more time. There we go. So we are going to do a little bit of movement prep to prepare our bodies for this movement. So first off, we're just going to take a single dumbbell. We're going to brace up through the core. We're going to tighten up through the legs, squeeze the glutes, and focus on the shoulder isolation movement of extending your arm into the air with a little bit of weight. We're going to do 5 on each side, with just a single arm. 4, 5, switch sides. And you'll notice I am using my lighter dumbbells to activate the shoulders. I don't want to risk injury before we get into the little bit faster tempo of the actual workout. Now, it will be your choice if you want to use 1 dumbbell or 2, but if you have 2 at your disposal, then try strict pressing both dumbbells for a set of 5. If not, do another set of 5 on each arm, and then we'll look at how this relates to the push press. So for the push press, we're going to use the legs a little bit to help in case the dumbbells get heavy later in the workout after a lot of reps. Bending the knees, getting into a little bit of a dip position, and then exploding upwards to use the momentum to help get the weights off the shoulders. So I'm not sure if you can see black dumbbell on black t-shirt, but these dumbbells are resting against my person. That way, as I dip and drive, the momentum of the drive is pushing the dumbbells up into the air, and it's not entirely reliant on my arms, but we are controlling the descent, so we're building more strength during that negative phase of the exercise. From here, we'll rotate back into our bent over row and our hang clean. So a bent over row is going to require that our backs are, again, stable, braced through the core, and active. So we're just going to hold the dumbbells out in front of us and do 10 Romanian deadlifts, hinging at the hip, keeping the back straight, feeling the tension come into the hamstrings, because this is preparing us for the bent over position from where we'll do our rows. Should be feeling that all down the legs. The knees don't need to be hyper extended. We're not looking for that. We want a soft knee, a safe joint, so that there's slack on the hamstrings to allow your hips to hinge and your back to bend this way. Okay. And from here, again, just to warm up the biceps a little bit, we can do single arm curl. We can do alternating arm curls. Or we can do double arm curls. And just so that you get a feeling that when you're doing your hang cleans, it's not the curl that we're looking for. At first, it might feel just as easy to curl your weights, but as the endurance is required to keep up reps over time, you'll find it's much easier to, just like the push press, use a little bit of a leg hinge at the waist and use a little bit of the momentum. You'll see I'm almost jumping off the floor to get momentum into the arms. So my elbows are loose. I'm not using too much bicep on this one, but I am using my traps, my upper back, and again, the biceps are used a little bit on the negative. So that's where you're going to build more strength anyway. So it's kind of like combining a curl with a high row to make a hang clean. So let's do some high rows as well, pulling the elbows back. Again, warming up those traps, upper back muscles, and posture muscles in between your shoulder blades. They're called rhomboids. Good. From here, we'll put the dumbbells down for a minute, and we'll come onto the floor on your stomach. And just starting out with the arms down by your sides, keeping the hands on the ground, rolling your back off the floor, and returning to neutral for 5 to 10 reps. You don't need to come up too much to feel this activating in your low back. Almost easier if you stay closer to the floor, but try to lift your tummy as well as your chest. Even if it's not leaving the ground, the thought is going to help you to activate your spinal muscles, your spinal erectors. And then again from here, really focusing on that upper back preparation. We're making letter Y, gliding down to letter T, and then squeezing, rowing into a W shape. This is called Y, T, W. Come down and give your back a rest in between reps if you feel you need it. Or rep out 5 sequences of these letters slowly, feeling all of the places where your shoulders can go. This is a variation on your traditional arm circles. And then once you're happy there, your back is feeling activated and warm, come back up to a standing position. And we're really going to try to hone in on the bent over position. So bend into the knees, send your hips back, try to find parallel-ish with the floor, lower than 45 degrees. So here for a bent over row is going to target much the same muscles as the hang clean. Getting a little bit lower, we'll be targeting lower in those rhomboid muscles and a little bit more from your arms. So from this position, once you're happy, again, 5 times through your letter Y, letter T, letter W, Y, T, W, brace your core, sink into that bent over position, come out of it between reps if you need to, and again, for these letters, Y, T, and when we form the W, the palms turn backwards and the shoulder blades squeeze together. One more time. Y, T, W, squeeze and relax. Give your shoulders some rolls. Now, for this circuit, we'll do 8 bent over rows, 6 hang cleans, 4 push presses, but I'm having a timer set, so every 2 minutes, we're gonna lay down on the floor for some sit-ups. So, first, we're just gonna use imaginary dumbbells. We're gonna pretend the beep goes off while we're in the middle of bent over rows. What do we wanna do to sit down on the floor without losing time to put down the dumbbells? Cross the ankles, sit back, feet together, dumbbells overhead, lay down, push up as you sit up. If this is too hard with the weight, obviously we can always ditch the dumbbells and cross the arms over the chest. Still using the feet together, knees apart method to focus this into your abdominals. Maybe just hit up 5 here during the workout. I'll ask for 10. If that's eating a lot of your time and you still really want to use the dumbbells, you can scale it back to 5 reps, as that will put you back into the upper body circuit sooner. That's up to you. I can't see how you're working out. I trust that you're gonna have a good time and make it the best workout you can possibly make it. But I'm gonna try to do 10 every 2 minutes on the 2 minutes. Now, it will be a little bit more complicated. So now we're gonna use real dumbbells to practice that transition. So say the beat goes off during hang cleans. Again, I can lunge back or cross the ankles. Lean over onto the hips, swing the legs out in front, dumbbells go overhead, lay back, and push as you sit up. And then we can always keep the arms overhead as we stand up and continue our cleans. Or the same method with the dumbbells overhead, lunge back, find the knees, sit back, swing your legs out in front, lay down, rep out your sit-ups, come back to the knees, kneel up, and lunge to stand, and keep repping out wherever you left off from the circuit. This is going to be a burner. Get your water, get everything set up where you need it, maybe try out a couple of different weights if you've got a variety of dumbbells at your disposal, and we'll get started. Great, I've got my timer here. We're ready to go. Every 2 minutes on the minute, it's gonna beep and get us started in 3, 2, 1, go. Starting with 8 bent over rows. Get yourself in position, stabilize your back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Standing up, with a little bit of that hang clean for 6. 2, try to control the momentum. 3, 4, use the momentum on the way up, stop the momentum on the way down. 6, 4 push presses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And that gets us into another round. Getting ready. 2. This is your time to turn up the music. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take rests as needed. And you know you've got that built-in change up every 2 minutes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting under those weights. That's 3 rounds already. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water, because I don't want to break up these sets. And that sets me up going into my first set of sit-ups in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I know I'm starting at the top of my round for the next set, trying to hit close to the same number of sets, but knowing I have 30 seconds less to do it in because of the time it takes to do my sit-ups. 6, 7, 8. But as I'm getting used to these movements, I can speed them up a little bit. Not sacrificing my form. And getting into my second set. One, 2, 3, 4, and I have time for one more quick set. See if I can get it done. Not gonna have time for water this time. And there's the beat. Coming down, a second set of sit-ups. Take water whenever you need. You don't have to keep up with me, just try to keep up with yourself. And remember, you can always do 5 sit-ups if you want to get back at the upper body. And I finish up by 10. And now I'm going to take my water break. And don't worry if the beat comes in the middle of your round, you pick up where you left off. Lost count there, I did a couple extra. Over the head with a push from the legs. Controlling your tempo on the way down. We're not dropping these these dumbbells. And we're 15 seconds out. I'm going to take another sip of water and be right on the minute for the next round. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you need a little extra water, or you need a little extra more reps, you can keep going. About 5 more. And I can settle down because I'm getting up from my bent over rows. Good. We're halfway there. You can do rows with a narrow foot position or a wider foot position, whatever you're more comfortable with. But try not to set these weights down between rounds because these movements go one right into the other. At the end of a round, the hands are getting sweaty, you need to wipe them off and jump into the next set. Fingers are starting to hurt. Hold on to these. Might have to slow down soon. So I'm going to get in what I can while I can. Starting another round. Oh, I'm gonna do my last clean. Get down to my sit-up. And we're going for the same number of reps as last time. You chose 5, stick with 5. You chose 10, stick with me. I'll get these 4 push presses done before I break for water and wrists. Don't forget to hydrate throughout as needed. More than halfway there now. Should be feeling a pretty big pump in the arms. Catch your breath. I know the ups and downs from sit-ups to stands is a lot for the heart and you might lose your breath. This is the chance now to regain control. For practicing these movements, we've still got a long way to go. And breaking for another set of sit-ups. 3, 2, 1. Feet together, squeeze the feet together. Keep those arms locked out overhead. You need to break it up, break it up. But try to keep the same dumbbells. You'll make it up in the back half of the workout. Picking these up, I'm cycling into my cleans from the last round. You got time for one more round this minute. Off of the shoulders, remember. We're not doing this all with the arms, we're doing this with the legs and the body as well. And controlling descent. 3, 2, 1. So variations with a single dumbbell. Still trying to keep the arms right overhead. This round's for all my folks at home with just one dumbbell. Working it out. Same number of reps, just doing each arm. The rounds take twice as long. There's no reason to stop working out due to limited equipment. Does take much longer though. Kind of nice to have that other arm given a rest. But if you're out there with 2 dumbbells, keep it up. Three, 2, 1. Sit-ups. And then back to 2 dumbbells. For my cleans. Up to the shoulder, down at the hip, jump them up to the shoulder. We've got time for a couple more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3, 4. 10 seconds for water between your sit-ups. 4, 3, 2, 1. And if the arms are fried, or if there's no weights at home, do your sit-ups free. Any kind of weight with a handle, soup can, laundry jug. You can make this workout for you. Oh. Last 2 rounds. Don't stop now unless you absolutely need to. Uh, 30 seconds, you got time for 1 more round if you don't need a last little break. Making sure we finish the last round strong and ready. 20 seconds, you can start a round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Don't forget at least 1 dumbbell if you got them. This is our last round of sit-ups. The last minute and a half. finish 2 or 3 more rounds. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. If the arm's getting tired, the smartest way to maneuver is to do all but the last rep. 6, 7, set it down, shake it off, bend over. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set it down, shake it off, pick it up. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shake it off. Bend over. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set it down. Shake it off. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. And our time is running out. Finish up your last set. 2, 1. Great job. Great job. Catch your breath. Don't stop moving right away. Best thing you can do is keep moving. And we'll get ready for our cool down. So you can do this standing or seated, whatever you like, but we'll get you to come in a little bit closer for the cool down. So I know you had a really hard workout. We're gonna stretch those muscles out. We're gonna slowly bring it down. You can do any of these exercises standing or seated, but starting dynamic so that we're not rushing to a halt to stretch out our muscles. Reaching up and over, side bending. Starting her off. Again, keeping it nice and easy, not trying to overstretch or go to any limits right now. But as we are stretching out our upper bodies, just like we warmed up, we want to cool down. So rotation to make sure that everything still feels good on either side. And then coming to a lunge position. Drop your knee, time to relax. If you need a little cushion under there, that's a good idea too. And take this big reach over stretch. And if you want to interlace your fingers to add a little bit more pull, you will feel more stretch up the side body. It doesn't need to be too active. This is up to you. We're holding it roughly 30 to 45 seconds on either side. And we can come back to square. Step the leg out with the toes facing forwards, and we're going to do the exact same stretch for a second set, but now with this inner thigh stretch being added as well. After this, we'll do all the same things on the other side. Paying a special attention to making sure that our backs are stretched out and relieved, because all that time in the bent over position and then flexing in the sit-ups could leave you pretty sore through the middle. I'm more worried about that than I am about my arms and shoulders today. Coming square, stepping out again, and taking our second set in a different position. A lot of these upper body stretches are going to be familiar. The small muscle groups through the arms only stretch out a limited number of ways, but if you do find a variation that feels really good to you, I encourage it. So for our next one, you will need to come down to the floor and take a bent knee seated position with your fingertips facing back, and then walk your bum forwards until you're feeling this stretch through your chest and through your biceps. Now, if you are particularly flexible, walking the hands closer together will intensify the stretch. And this one we'll just do one set. Remember to keep your posture proud so that we're not slouching into the back after we just stretched out. And coming out slow. We can, again, find your favorite seated position. So I like to be kneeling. If you like cross-legged, it will work all the same. And we're going to come up and behind the head. And where we usually lose some of the effectiveness of the stretch is letting the chin drop down. So try to keep your chin level with the floor. And if that means the elbow doesn't go quite as far behind your head, that's fine. Just trying to reach towards the opposite shoulder. So I'll turn around when I do the other side. It doesn't need to be towards the spine, especially if that cranks your neck. Keep your chest tall, reach to the opposite shoulder, and add a little bit of pressure if that feels okay. Unwind. Give your shoulders a few rolls just to get back into position, back into the socket. Yeah, good. And from here, we're gonna, again, walk one hand out to the side, reach the other arm up, and we're gonna stretch the traps that we use for the cleans, just by letting one ear drop to the side. And the arm isn't pulling down on the head, just adding weight. You might not even need that hand on your ear if you're already feeling the stretch. From here, we can nod our head very slowly. Like I said, if there's any variations that feel good, then go ahead and take them. Stay in the spots where you're feeling more stretch. Come up nice and easy. Switching directions. Deciding whether or not you need a little extra pressure. And maybe choosing to explore your stretch a little bit. And then laying down on the floor. Again, bent knees or straight legs, up to you. Outstretch your arms overhead and reach towards opposite shoulders, lifting your elbows away from your chest as best as you can. But you can leave your back on the floor and try to feel the stretch between your shoulder blades. If you're not feeling too much, you can twist tie the forearms and squeeze and lift your elbows together. And don't forget to do it on both sides. So if the left elbow is on top, now the right elbow is on top, or vice versa. And lifting the elbows up and away. Good. Rolling over onto the front. Outstretch the arm. I'm going to stretch out the other arm so that you can see what's going on. And roll over onto your side to stretch your chest. This can again be done against a wall in a standing position or through a doorway. And you can do both variations with the arm straight or with the elbow bent at 90 degrees and maybe elevating the fingers just a little bit. And feel free to go through and take a second set of these stretches, maybe even a third if you have time. So that you can feel really good moving into tomorrow's workout. Thanks a lot. From CFB Halifax, I'm David Carr. You have a great day.